Hi, Claudia. Hi, Martin. Hi, Donnie. Just get rid of my face. I have coffee tonight for a change. I feel like I need a little bit of a caffeine hit. So, hi, Ramona. Welcome to Sunday night chat. And I'll just do a little intro first. And then, hi, Paul. And then after I've finished, you're very welcome to ask questions. Hi, Heel. And below the video, there is something different. I'm going to change the way I do things a little. And the reason I'm doing this is because I did a little recce of how much I have to pay every month to do this. And it worked out at about £80 a month. Now, I'm lucky if I make £5 or £10 a month out of non-duality. And yet I pay £80 a month for a website and all kinds of things. And so what I'm asking for is that if you like these videos, could you please donate the price of a coffee? Yeah, a little bit of change, not much. The price of a coffee, I don't think it's at much, you know, even if it's just one, even if it's half a cup of coffee, £1. Because I get, you know, hundreds of views every week. And if just like some of those people would donate just a little bit, that'd be great. I do get a few donations, but I would say it's like the same 3 people, and it's rare. And I'm grateful for those donations, but it's not really working here. So I need to make a change with that. Otherwise, it becomes unsustainable for me to do this. Otherwise, you can also have a pledge on Patreon. It's really easy to join. I suggest $10 a month, not $1 a month, because if you do $1 a month, it's unlikely you're going to get access to the Discord. It's kind of a bit of a dark name, but anyway, there's a thing called Discord. What I'm going to do is every Wednesday when I'm here is I will be live on Discord, and there'll be links in there for the people who are patrons, and they can come in and they can chat with me just there. Easy. It's really easy to do. So I'll put the links in Patreon. So that's the changes I'm making, and if I can't sustain it, I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe have less talks, or I don't know. But I would really appreciate it if people would just pay even £1 per video. It's nothing, is it? It's nothing. That would be great. Okay. Also, there are private sessions, and Joe. Hi, Sana. And also next weekend I won't be here because I'm going to be in Brighton. I'm going to be doing a 2-day talk there. And if you want to come to that and you need the address, I'd get in touch with me before Wednesday, because after that I'm going to kind of be a bit out of touch after that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you do want to donate that little bit of money, you can just do it through PayPal. It's really easy. Okay. So non-duality. Non-duality is what we're talking about here. It's a bit like becoming a child again. You know, when you were a child and you had no sense of this kind of worry about being liked by other people, or wanting to, or being good enough in the world, or having to add to yourself to get approval. Or this is like not about adding to yourself. Like non-duality, you can't add non-duality to yourself. It would be absurd. I mean, what would you add? But people do. People do say I'm into non-duality as if it's like the best thing ever. So it's like being free of all that person that feels like it has to either get rid of things, like in this subject, like itself, it needs to get rid of itself to become nothing, but it's still a becoming. It's still the fantasy of becoming. And this is the freedom from becoming. The freedom from all those things which cause us so much suffering. It's just more immediate. Everything's more immediate. Immediate survival. Immediate. There's no kind of thinking about what others think of me, or what I'm going to do to become a better person, or how I'm going to fit into the world. All those concepts are they're just stories that live intertwined with this sense of separation. The sense of separation creates stories about who I am. And this whole fiction is created about who I am. And that am has to have approval or drama. It's one of its loves drama. It has to have like a little feed all the time. And one of its greatest feeds is unhappiness, seeking, personal drama, little dramas in the head about itself. And then it has this personal drama about becoming free of itself. And that's the whole drama in itself about becoming free. I have to do this, this, and this in order to get rid of myself. And it's a very intertangled story that it has. Oh, yeah. The link to the donate page is the link to the PayPal. Yeah. Thanks. Hopefully I'll have a lot of coffees at the end of it. Just help me pay for my website and stuff. It'd be really helpful. Because, I love this. I love this. It's the most wonderful non-subject ever. It's not a subject, is it? It's no, it's a support. Yes, sorry, yeah, it's a support link. I've changed it to support. Yeah. The reality is just sitting here. That's all there is. And there's such a simplicity in that. And the sense of seeking wants to know what that is. And it can't, because they're looking for what that is as part of its drama of seeking. And it can't help it. But at the same time, it's really obvious that that's just what's happening. It can, it's what's happening is the looking for this, there's something in it that I think that I need to get, and the table, and the screen, and the coffee, and the air. Everything happens simultaneously. The sense of seeking, the body, the things, they're all happening simultaneously. And that is free to be what it is. It is not to even to be as it is. It can't be any other way. It can only be what it is. It's so free of complication. It's like free of the story. Oh, thank you, Keel. Thank you. You know, I'm not asking for much. Buy me a drink. Buy me a drink once a week. That's all. Not asking for 20 quid or anything. Just a little bit. Appreciate it. Mm. I think what the seeker looks for is an experience that happens to it in this, as if it will have an aha moment. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. Oh, now I can relax. Now all my stories will go away. Now I won't have any neurotic thoughts happening all day long. And sure, the neurotic thoughts certainly do go, but nobody gets it. It's actually the end of getting anything. And there's the freedom. There's the relaxing, just life as it is. And it's not a life that the me thinks it's going to get for itself. It's not suddenly going to be free of having annoying people around you, getting a bit irritated with them, or having a leaky roof, which is kind of, damn. Life does not stop. But it happens in such free fall that there's nothing no longer there that can get hold of it. It becomes this like wonderful mystery. Oh, thank you, Ramona. I don't expect people to donate who haven't got any money. Just people who can afford a couple of quid, you know. Thank you. Oh, it's really nice. Yeah, because I don't make any money out of residentials or anything like that, because I don't do them. I think that's where some speakers make their money, with residentials and talks and stuff. And I am doing a talk next weekend, but I'll come home with like 20 quid because of the flight and stuff. But you know, it's really nice to do the talks. And I tell you, if I was earning loads of money, I would just go around the place giving talks for free. You know, I wouldn't charge, but such is life. Yeah. Someone, a friend said to me, because we were talking about this, about, oh, you know, I'm not making any money, I'm not talking about a living, just any money to cover it. And she said, why don't you kind of maybe make it a bit more therapeutic? I said, I don't have a therapeutic bone in my body. I'm more like this character here is more like a rabbit that hops around the field, going freedom, 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 because that's all that's left. You know, sitting here talking about freedom because that's all there is, and there's nothing that can be said about it. There's nothing that I can prescribe for it, because you can't prescribe it. You can't prescribe sitting on a chair. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with therapies. It's a kind of a personal thing. It's a personal story or journey or whatever you want to call it. But this is not about that. This is not about a teaching. This is definitely not a spiritual message. This is an anarchistic, unnameable, free message that doesn't point in any direction. It doesn't give any direction, because giving a direction would be a fantasy or a story that the self could get hold of and make it into another journey. And the self loves journeys. It loves the relief of seeking. Because like this message is can be so like, uncomfortable, because that sense of seeking has got nowhere to go. And there's the comfort in seeking, there's a comfort in practice. You feel like, oh, now I'm getting somewhere. Now I'm getting closer. Now I'm meditating, I'm having an experience of expansiveness. Now I'm really getting close. But the thing is that there's nowhere to get close to, because there is nobody to get close to it. This somebody is an illusory appearance that is aliveness appearing as a somebody, but it's not a somebody. It's a not a mistake, because nothing's a mistake. It's a misunderstanding. And this message only points to that misunderstanding. And the revealing of that misunderstanding is the revealing that all there is this. That is what's revealed. And that's all that's revealed. And anything beside that is utterly indescribable, because it's just this, and this is indescribable. Okay, well, I've hopped around the field, wagging my tail for a quarter of an hour. Would anyone like to ask any questions? It is a paradox, Joe. It's a paradox that life should appear as being separate. It's a paradox that there is time, but there is no time. I find that just the most wonderful paradox. Really, like, oh, it's just so great, you know. Time seems to appear, but not in time. Hi, farm boy. Why is there something rather than nothing? Do you mean as in like computer, space, body, table? Do you mean like that? Well, no, well, there's nothing that can't be known. It can't be known why there is what there is. That's so annoying to the sense of the seeker, because he wants to know what this is. Is this God? Is this, I don't know, he could come up with all the concepts about what this is, but in the end it remains a mystery. And it's an absolutely bloody amazing mystery. Only when it's thought about as a mystery, otherwise it's just what is. It's simple, it's natural, it's naturally this. And there's a wonder in it. It's alive. It's alive. It's life. And you could say that it comes from nothing, but then nobody knows where that nothing is. It just is. It just is just exploding out of just exploding. It seems to be happening, but there's nothing happening. As in, there's nothing moving towards anything. It has no purpose. It has no outcome. It just is itself being everything. But to what it is a total mystery. It's just everything. It's absolutely alive. It's indescribable. I could put certain words on it, but the mind would just go to that and make it into something. Paul, Intellectual understanding doesn't come close, I guess, but that's all this me can do. Think about it, very frustrating. Yeah, but at the same time, the intellectual understanding of it is this as aliveness being the intellectual understanding. The frustration of it not coming close to it is the aliveness appearing as that. And it appears that I am intellectually understanding it, that I am frustrated. But within that I, it's not seen that that is aliveness too. The frustration is the aliveness. Nothing comes close to it because there is only what is. So every single something is the aliveness. It's part of the whole. It's just whole. Everything is whole. Everything is all at once. Even the thought of tomorrow is it appearing as the thought of tomorrow or the thought of yesterday. So nothing can know this because knowing this would just be another appearance. It'd be the same aliveness appearing as a plant and as understanding. Paul, so simple when you say it like that. Just this. Yeah, everything. You cannot remove anything from what is. Because trying to remove it is also what is trying to remove it. It's absolutely freaking mind-blowing and utterly, utterly frustrating to the sense of separation that wants to know it, that is desperate to know it. But something hears what is being said. Something hears it, but it's not something that's separate. It's just being heard and going, yeah, of course, it's just this. And then that sense of the seeker comes up and gets on its horse again and trots on into its imaginary something else. And then kind of veils that sense of the hearing of it. It veils it. Because, yeah, well, I hear it, but I haven't found it. So I'm going to go looking for it again. And that's when you get into this kind of flip-flopping situation where there's like, oh, yeah, the obvious reality. Hi, Em. Ramona, she is specialist in saying it's super simple on the most optimistic way. I'm like a fan. I think I'm a fan of Lisa's translation of this. Yeah, well, I didn't have a clue. Absolutely no clue. It's just really obvious that there is not a person. There's just not a person. There's just no person. It's just another appearance. It's like, imagine having like a, here I go with one of my analogies, having some kind of like illness, and you've had it all your life. Like say you've got like, you think you've got like, say you really think you got a third arm, right? You got a third arm, and all your life you've had this third arm, and it's so painful, this third arm. And then one day that you realize that I never had a third arm at all. It was never there. And the self is like that. It's just suddenly seeing that it was never a person. It was never really there. It appeared as a difficulty or a pain or a story or a neurotic sense of conditions, but it was never really there as a person. It was just a phantom. It was a phantom arm. Hi, CD. So the seeking energy must dissolve somehow, or I will continue to seek to escape this. It's not not that it dissolves, it's just that the seeking energy, the seeker, somehow, as you say, actually becomes revealed. It's like it's revealed. Suddenly, it's seen that, oh yeah, it's not true. And it's really obvious it's not true. Suddenly it becomes really obvious. And there's a possibility in that moment that the whole illusory construct of that built up person just totally collapses because there's nothing holding it up anymore. When it's totally revealed as an illusion, there's nothing propping it up. It can't sustain itself because it's been illuminated somehow. The seeker gets stuck. Yeah, well, the seeker's the seeker. It's the seeker's the seeker. It doesn't matter what it's doing, it's always the seeker. If it gets stuck, if it's on a roll, if it feels it knows something, if it feels like now I know nothing, the seeker is the seeker. That's it. It's an illusion. What is being spoken of here is about that illusion, and somehow that illusion can suddenly become exposed. And it's not exposed to the seeker, it's just exposed. The veil has been, the kind of fake veil that's thrown over it is somehow taken off in a split second, and it's revealed, and it just can suddenly collapse. Yeah, I mean, here, I mean, now this is a story. It was suddenly revealed because there was such a tremendous difficulty in a moment that suddenly the person was just suddenly not there, and it was just like, oh, it's just not there. And this wasn't through seeking. I had given up seeking by that point. I'd just given up on the whole bloody thing. I was so sick of it. But something like really traumatic happened, and it felt like the person had just been blasted out by something. It came back. But that revealing of it, don't know, just did something. Mona, what is this pressure on my chest? It's not my chest, but I feel it. Ooh, there seems to be pressure on the chest that seems to be mine. Whose memories are appearing in this brain? Isn't that me, that kid? No, shit. Yeah, none of it belongs to anybody. Nothing belongs to anybody. There isn't anybody that anything belongs to. There is an appearance that these experiences and these memories belong to me, but they don't belong to anybody. They're just what's happened. That one that thinks they belong to me is an illusory contraction of separation that actually has no reality, but only as an appearance. Ella, it turns still, yet. It turns still, yes, as in collapse. Turns still. Yes. Trying to understand what you mean. It becomes still? Well, I don't know. It's just revealed as a total fake. An absolute fake. It's a contracted energy appearing and calling itself I and taking ownership of this body and this, some of this life. It doesn't take ownership of all of it. You can't cope with that much unless it's a total megalomaniac. But it's just, Ramona, it seems to be me. It seems to be me, but it's not. Because where is me? Where is it? Can't find it. It's just a claiming energy. It's just energetic. It's me. But where is it? It's not there. It seems my chest. Yeah, but it's not your chest, is it? That's a energetic sense of something. My memories. Just memories. Something energetic is claiming that they're my memories. But they're not, they're just memories. It's like me saying my plant. I'm claiming that plant. But it's not, is it? It's just plant. It's just a plant. The thing that's claiming that it's my plant is the energetic contraction calling itself me. My thoughts, yeah. Thoughts with the energy of me claiming my arm. Shit. It seems so real. Yeah, it seems so real. And the word seem says it all, doesn't it? It seems so real. But can you say it is real? Can you really say it's real? You can't. Not really. Not you guys, anyway. I'm pretty sure of it. There's something there knows it's not real. Hi, Bruno. I know last time you said that your relationships improved when the me died, but it seems like when the me is in dying process, relationships can become kind of worse because the games that were played before to keep everything together, those games are no longer being played. It can be a bit hard, actually. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's different for everybody, you know? It's different for everybody. There is definitely a change that happens. And there's something that, like this character here, just can't put up with other people's drama. Just can't. It just has no interest. And the games are really obvious that are being played. The games are just, as you say, the games are just suddenly really, really obvious and they can't be played anymore. So yes, that's true. It's true. I mean, luckily here that my family don't really play games. Not really. But I see games being played with other people who aren't my family, and it's impossible to join in with that game. It's really just impossible. And there's no interest. There's just an aversion to it, really. It's kind of like, kind of boring. When people play games with me, I'm just like, what do you want? I don't know what you want. It's like suddenly you just don't know what they want, but you just know that you don't want whatever they're trying to do. So yeah, it's true. It can be hard, especially if you have very gamey relationships going on. I know you can't prescribe something for it, but do you have a response? On a personal level, I would just say, I don't really know. There's things like integrity comes up, or honesty, or honest conversations with people. I don't know, whatever feels right, really. Whatever feels right in the end. You know, you have to do what's right, what feels right for yourself in the end. If something doesn't feel right, then if something doesn't feel right here, I tend to just walk away or have an honest conversation. If I can't have an honest conversation, then walking away happens. Because, you know, what else can you do? That's all I can say to that, really. Because there'll become a point where you can't engage in that kind of game. You know, when the sense of me is kind of coming and going and everything's becoming more exposed, you won't be able to play the games anyway, actually. You won't actually have a choice. You just won't be able to. And that might be a bit difficult. Joe. I wouldn't give a prescription to it. I can't give a prescription to anything. Not really. I don't really like giving. I mean, I would, if it was a Skype call, I would probably give some advice, but I don't do that here really because it's a piece of advice doesn't apply to everybody. It just doesn't. You know, I have to kind of feel into the actual, just kind of feel into it. When I do Skype calls with people, I kind of feel into that other person more, and get a feel of them. That's why you can't prescribe anything on this kind of talk. But the sense of the me falling away and coming back, that just happens on its own. And so does the response to the family, actually. Ramona, I'm getting a sellotape flashback. And when you reply, it's like emptiness arises strange. I've heard it so many times and still it's like a new strike of boom. No one's here for real. Hi, Julie. Oh, thanks. Yeah, Skype calls are really different, aren't they? They're just more zing, like this. Yeah, give me a bit of a beating. On the Skype calls, sometimes I say to people, I'm going to be really brutal now. Is that okay? Oh, you know, sometimes you got to ask before you could just really go in there with a bulldozer. Oh, thank you, Claudia. Yeah, Skype calls with you are amazing too. Yeah, really good, really good. Let's cut to the chase, don't we? Hi, Lana. Do buildings, cars are also form of the oneness? Everything is aliveness, oneness. Everything is aliveness. The plant is aliveness, being a plant. The cup, the plastic, modern cup is oneness, is aliveness, being a cup. Everything. The merest nuance of a thought or a feeling is aliveness, being that. Every single detail. Nothing can be separated from what is. Yeah, everything. Everything is just shouting life, life, life. Everything. There's no separation. Farm boy. Are we consciousness experiencing body, or are we a body experiencing consciousness? There is no we. There is no we. There is no separate consciousness. Or are we a body experiencing consciousness? There isn't anybody experiencing anything. There is only aliveness appearing as the concept or the construct of a me experiencing the body. But that appearance of a person is not separate. It just appears as separate. There is only what is, and what that is cannot be described as consciousness, because that would give it something separate apart from itself, something that is experiencing itself. You could say it is itself experiencing itself, but the experience of itself is superfluous to it. It doesn't need to experience itself because it is itself already. It's just this idea from separation that something has to experience something for it to be. The experiencing of it is utterly useless. It's not needed. The plant does not need a contracted sense of separation to see that it's a plant. When that's not there, when that contracted sense of separation is not there, there's just Lisa turning around and seeing plant. There's nobody that needs to experience that. Consciousness, whatever that is, I would just say that consciousness is separation, is not needed for life to be as it is. It's an add-on. It's just an add-on. It just is. But it's not true. It's not you. It's not we. There are no we. There are no people. There are no separate consciousnesses. Every appearance that is the one appearance. How beautiful is that? Stunning. Stunning that all there is just this one appearance. And it's a total, magnificent, unknowable aliveness. Yeah, the magic show. Yeah, it really is. It really is a magic show. Aliveness is a magician, conjuring all of this, but there is no actual magician. It is itself being the magician. It's just so rich, so rich. And it can't be seen by this veil of a somebody, because it's always looking over it to something else, or looking within it to find something within it. It's always looking all the time. And that looking is not going to find anything. It's not going to find anything. It's actually missing it. It's actually missing the magic show by looking for it. The sense of self, apart from being a contracted energy, is also a mass hypnosis. It's all like the ultimate sort of cognitive dissonance. The ultimate. Where everybody just believes it. Everyone feels it and believes it. Then someone comes along and goes, no, actually, it's not true. And then something in the human goes, yeah, I suspect it's not true. Something feels not true about it. Ramona, yes, but the plant doesn't have this kind of over-analyzing sense of self. Why the fuck do we? Or should I feel blessed God gave me such a joke to unravel? Yes, be blessed. The Great Magic Show. Yeah, well, that's just a story that the self runs with, isn't it? I should feel blessed and God gave me this and everything. And it doesn't, what it can't see is that it is no different from the plant or the air or the desk. It's the same aliveness. And it does analyze everything. Everything is regard to itself. Ramona. No, not to unravel for me. It's unraveling for no one. For no one. Yeah, it's unraveling for no one. Yeah, it's just unraveling. It's like a kind of a very well spun story, which is being unraveled, being picked apart. And soon it just like either completely unravel all at once, or just be picked apart until nothing left. Then you'll go, yeah, it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything at all in the end. All there is just this life. Sense of time goes, sense of reality goes. Sense of reality as in the sense of it's real and I'm here and I'm on a planet in space and it's all real and I'm born and I die and everything in between. That loses its whole sense of reality. And life just goes on for nobody. The whole life just goes on. The secret door out of the computer game, says Joe. Thank God, God doesn't exist, said Keel. Thank God, Keel. What a mess. What a mess. Pray into this like phantom, all-knowing God who does everything and just all this stuff. It's such just an awful religious trap as far as I'm concerned anyway. Religious trap. Something's watching over me, watching my every move. Who's created all this? Some separate being. And in most religions, male. A separate male being who will punish me if I'm bad. Terrible. Terrible. The concept of God is totally the whole concept of all sorts of things like that, and that whole identity kind of just goes. The concept of God, gurus, enlightened people, all that just completely falls away with it. Farm boys. So who is it that is witnessing this reality? Nobody. Nobody's witnessing it. Nobody. It doesn't need a witness. It already is. It doesn't need to be witnessed. If suddenly you stopped witnessing it, would it disappear? Just say for a moment you forgot you were witnessing it. Would it disappear, or would it still be the same appearance? The idea of witnessing something is utterly conceptual. Like, say you're a very common thing to do is when you're driving and you forget you're driving and you forget you're there at all and you're just driving. Is the driving still happening? Nobody's there to witness it. There's no witnessing of it. It's just still there. It's the same. Ella, it's all the same life anyway. Yeah, it's just life. It's just life. It's so simple. It's just life. This idea of needing to witness it is a pressure that the sense of self puts on itself as something to do. Tries so hard to witness this, but witnessing it is just, it's another of its illusions. Life is just life. This is just this. It's just simply this. Can't be said more simply than that. All there is sitting on a chair, speaking. That's all there is, or whatever is there. All there is sitting in a chair, if you're on a chair, listening, feeling, thinking, feeling warm or cold, thirst. Whatever's happening, that is all there is. Can you find anything else? Is there anything else? And something will be there going, yeah, but I'm here and I need to find what she's talking about. That's all there is. That's all there is. That is everything. And then the next moment it changes. Suddenly the air is colder, or suddenly I'm hungry. That is all there is. That is the aliveness that the sense of self thinks it's looking for. But it lives in this fantasy that it must be something else apart from this, because I don't feel good enough in this. This is not good enough. It thinks that this is not good enough, but though it's not that, it's that the sense of self has an innate sense of not being good enough, of not being whole. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. And that's an innate sense there that something is wrong. Yes, separation has happened. That's what's wrong. The sense of self is looking for the simplicity that somehow is sensed it had when it was a child. There's a simplicity there, wasn't there? Whatever was happening, even if it was falling over and scraping a knee and crying, it was just so immediate. There was nothing there saying, now my future is ruined because I have a scraped knee, and what are people going to think of me, and all these stories that the self has. It's just so immediate. You know, falling over, crashing your bike, or everything that was just immediate. It was so immediate as a child. Farm boy. So then my true state of being is like when I am in deep sleep and I am not aware of anything. There is no true state of being. There is only this. And this can appear as something that wants to know its true state of being. Deep sleep is deep sleep. There is no sense of separation in deep sleep. So in a sense, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, so in this, there's suddenly nobody there to be aware of anything. Yeah, I'm looking more into your question now. There's nothing, yeah, I could say that there's nothing here that is aware of anything. It's just functional awareness, like making sure that when I drink my coffee, I don't miss my mouth and pour it over my head. Just functional awareness, you know, but not the sense of somebody being aware. That's very different. Because the sense of self is a sense of self-awareness. Self-awareness and being aware of not falling over a pavement are two totally separate things. Self-awareness is a contracted sense that I am separate and I'm aware of myself, and I now am aware of other people and their separate selves, and they're aware of me. And those self-aware people are looking at this self-aware person. That's what self-awareness is. And it can't imagine life without the sense of awareness. It can't imagine it. But yes, in deep sleep, there is no sense of self-awareness. No sense of self-awareness at all. Joe, these are just really random comments. That's okay, but I'm not going to read them all out because they're not a question. Farm boy. I like your name. It's good. So I can only be aware in the waking state. Self-awareness comes back into play when the body is awake, yes. Unless there's a dream of self-awareness, where in the dream you're feeling very self-aware. But normally, yes. And it's not there all of the day. It's probably not there a lot of the day. Oh, that's to Joe. Farmer. You know, you can have some of the day when there isn't a sense of self-awareness, where the sense of self-awareness is quiet. You know, when you're doing something intensely, and you have, you know, the body and the brain has to be totally focused on what it's doing. There's no sense of self-awareness then either. It quietens down, goes dormant. And when it's there again, it's literally that contracted, illusory sense of self that comes back into play again. Ramona, P.S. God does exist. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Denial. God. Oh, God, not God. Oh, God. God help us with God. Is this a white God? White privileged God? There's only this. It's only this. And there's nothing else that can be found. Only as concepts or thoughts. The concept of God can be found if it's there. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I don't mind his statements. I don't mind his statements. I just can't read them all out because I just just can't read them all out. There's so many of them. Yeah, that's nice. Sana says, I think of Joe blogs as our elf. He is sweet. He is sweet. He is sweet. You are sweet, Joe. It's true. I just can't read out every single comment. I'm sorry. Nothing personal. Okay, I have a few minutes left. So there's no more questions. Oh, there is. Oh, thank you. Struggling muso, yeah. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. Yeah, but thanks. And I will be on the Patreon thing on Wednesday. I'm doing it on Patreon because I am trying to make a few quid to pay for my stuff. So that's why I'm doing Patreon. Sounds like I'm being mean and keeping it away from everybody, but I'd have to do something. What can I do? I have to do something. Otherwise, I cannot no longer pay for my website. My domain name is up next week. I'm just like, oh, brilliant. You know, I've got to pay for all that. And, you know, so that's what I have to do. You have to do what you have to do. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Brighton. There's like loads of people I haven't seen for ages. And I'm going to see a few of you guys there. So really looking forward to that. And then I'll be back afterwards. And I don't know when Christmas falls. Got my daughter here. But she won't mind giving up an hour of me to do this, I'm sure. Let's see. What day is Christmas Day? Is it the 25th or the 24th? I don't remember. Christmas. Oh, thanks, CDD. Yeah, it's just the most great. It's just so great. Thank you, Patrick. I have a feeling that Christmas is the 25th. Or is it the 24th? If it is, it's 25th. Thank you. Okay. I don't know if anybody's going to be around on Sunday the 24th, but you know, I'm going to do something that week. I'm going to see what my daughter's doing. I'll do something that week. I'm not a Christmassy person, so it doesn't really make much difference to me. And the next one falls on New Year's Eve. I don't do New Year's Eve either, so I might do a broadcast on New Year's Eve as well. For anybody who's like me and doesn't kind of do all that sort of stuff. Ramona, say hello to the white privilege guard. Who lives in Brighton. Yeah, he's got a hipster beard and wears trousers way too tight for him. Anyway, thanks guys, and see you all soon. And I will put up a notice when I'm back, but I will be on New Year's Eve stream. Yeah, I'll do a New Year's Eve stream. I'll do New Year's Eve, yeah, because I won't be going out New Year's Eve. No chance. And but I will be on Discord on Wednesday if anyone's interested in that. And if you want to join Patreon, please donate more than $1 per month. That would be good because that's not really going to cut it for me. Yeah, so definitely New Year's Eve for sure, and maybe Christmas Eve, depending on my daughter, what she wants to do. But I will speak to you soon, and it's been really nice seeing everybody. And yeah, lots of love.